Have you ever felt like you're different from those around you? Like you were born with a purpose or a unique set of abilities that others don't understand? It's a feeling that can be both inspiring and isolating, and it's the hallmark of what many call the spiritually enlightened people. This group of individuals has been marked by the universe, carrying rare gifts that set them apart from others. In today's video, we will explore what it truly means to be one of the spiritually enlightened people and dive deep into the remarkable qualities define them. But before we get started, I want you to take a moment and reflect. Do you ever sense that there's more to your life than what you can see? Do you experience moments of deep knowing where things seem to align in ways that don't follow the usual rules of the first mark, perception of the unseen? The first and most obvious mark of the spiritually enlightened people is their heightened perception. They often have an uncanny ability to sense what is going to happen before it does. Whether it's an impending change in someone's mood or an event about to unfold, spiritually enlightened people are tuned into the subtle vibrations of the world around them. This ability is often referred to as intuition, but it's much more than that. It's the ability to tap into the unseen energies that shape our reality, and it goes beyond the normal scope of human understanding. It's like having an invisible radar that allows them to navigate situations with a sense of foresight and clarity. Example: I recall a time when I was in a meeting with colleagues, and I could feel a tension building in the room long before anyone else noticed. I didn't know why, but I instinctively knew that something was off. Later, I found out that there had been some unresolved issues among the team members, and the energy in the room had been shifting long before it came to a head. Many ancient texts, including those in Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East, describe similar instances where masters could see the challenge of misunderstanding fired. It helped. With heightened perception comes the challenge of being misunderstood. Many spiritually enlightened people experience feelings of isolation or frustration because others don't understand their sensitivity to energy. People may label them as dramatic, anxious, or overreacting, when in reality, they are simply more attuned to the world's unseen dynamics. This is something I've struggled with personally. There have been times when I sensed something was wrong in a situation, but because I couldn't explain why I felt that way, I was dismissed as being overly sensitive. What I learned over time is that this sensitivity is a form of energetic protection. Spiritually enlightened people are naturally attuned to the energies of those around them, and this heightened awareness acts as a protective shield against negative influences. Example: there was a moment in my life when I walked into a room where a conversation had just ended, but I immediately felt that something had been left unsaid. Everyone around me was acting as if everything was fine, but I knew something was off. After some time, I learned that the group had just discussed the second mark, connection with like-minded people and certain animal species. Another powerful mark of the spiritually enlightened people is their innate connection with people who share similar frequencies and certain animal species. This connection goes beyond mere affection. It is an energetic recognition. People who resonate with similar frequencies, as well as animals that are not influenced by societal conditioning, naturally attune themselves to the higher vibrations that the spiritually enlightened people emit. As humans and animals are more in harmony with the natural world, they instinctively recognize the authenticity and safety in the energy of the spiritually enlightened people. This creates an immediate bond, a pure and non-judgmental connection. The energy of the spiritually enlightened people is often seen as a beacon of safety, attracting those who are untouched by ego or fear. Example: in daily life and in our interactions, when meeting someone for the first time, we may immediately feel that they are very familiar to us, almost like a close family member. This person has an undeniable calm presence, and instinctively, we trust them right away. It's as though we can sense that this individual silent energy emission. Spiritually enlightened people have the ability to emit energy that brings balance and healing to others, often without uttering a word. This energy is subtle, but it is powerful, and it can have a profound effect on those who are open to it. Whether it's calming someone in distress, helping a friend through a tough time, or providing healing to those around them, spiritually enlightened people can impact others' lives through their energy alone. This silent emission of energy is what the masters of the Far East called the power of the still mind. By cultivating inner peace and harmony, they were able to send out healing waves that resonated with others. The key is not to force or manipulate energy, but to allow it to flow naturally from within. Example: I've experienced this power of silent energy firsthand. There have been moments when someone was upset, and without saying a word, I simply sat next to them, offering my calm presence. Over time, I've seen how this has helped them settle into a more peaceful state simply because my energy was in alignment with peace and calm. The third mark: thoughts becoming reality. Perhaps the most profound ability of the spiritually enlightened people is their power to manifest their thoughts into reality. This goes beyond simply visualizing desires. It's about focusing their energy and intentions so strongly that they shape the reality around them. This process, often referred to as manifestation, requires clarity, focus, and alignment with one's true purpose. In my own life, I've seen how focused thought can bring about extraordinary results. The key is to be clear about your intentions and stay aligned with your core values. The more you refine your mental clarity, the more powerful your manifestations become. Example: I once set a clear intention to move into a new home. Over the course of a few months, I began to visualize the perfect space down to the smallest details. What was most surprising was how quickly the universe responded, aligning people and situations to make it happen. It wasn't magic. It was the result of focused thought and aligned action. Understanding mental power. Um, The power of thought is not to be underestimated. Each thought you have carries an energy that vibrates out into the universe, creating ripples that eventually manifest as physical outcomes. This is why spiritual enlightened people must be intentional with their thoughts. We must learn to filter out negative or distracting thoughts and focus only on those that serve our highest good. Practical tip: start by practicing mindfulness and awareness in your daily life. Catch yourself when you have negative thoughts and consciously shift them to more empowering, positive ones. This will begin to train your mind to focus on what you truly want to create. Creative awareness and responsibility. Once a spiritually enlightened people becomes aware of their creative power, they must also learn to use it responsibly. It is not enough to manifest desires for personal gain or out of ego. The power must be used for the greater good. This awareness shifts the spiritually enlightened people from a passive existence into an active co-creator of their reality. In Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East, the masters were described as always using their powers for the greater good, never selfishly. They were acutely aware of their responsibility to maintain balance in the universe, and as such, their actions were always guided by wisdom and compassion. Spiritual evolution and enlightenment. As the spiritually enlightened people evolve, they begin to recognize their connection to the universe as a whole. This understanding marks the beginning of true enlightenment. Enlightenment is not a destination, but a journey, a process of continually awakening to the truth of who we are and our place in the cosmos. It is through this process of self-awareness and alignment that the spiritually enlightened people achieve a state of oneness with the universe. If you feel that you might be one of the spiritually enlightened people, know that you are not alone. Your journey is just beginning. Embrace your gifts and use them wisely. Remember, the path of the spiritually enlightened people is one of responsibility, not just power. As you continue your spiritual journey, keep seeking out knowledge, wisdom, and guidance from the universe. If you feel called to explore more about the spiritually enlightened people and your spiritual gifts, subscribe, like, and share to our channel, and join a community of like-minded individuals. Share your thoughts, experiences, and questions in the comments below.